Hi guys, welcome to a new episode of Rosie Psych Investigator. so today I'm doing a reading that I think I never, well, how do I say it? I wanted to look into this, the issue of the Senate, but I didn't realize it until I guess yesterday when I did a bit more research when the whole thing with Marsha Blackburn and Taylor Swift came up in the reading. And then today I was looking into, I did some research and I found this article in the Washington Post from September 21st. They listed the 10 most important Senate races, right? So the trend has been, both in the news and I think in the readings, right, that it seems that there's greater chances of the House, or that the House numbers could be greater, which is obvious because there are more House races. But it looks like the Senate is tight. And so these are the lists here for important races that could help us out, okay? Because the article says we could still have majority, because right now we're at 51 Republicans and 49 Democrats. So it's pretty close, okay? So these are the races where, according to, I'll put the link here on the when I post it. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I am going to do, so there are 10 races, okay? I'm not going to list all of them right now. I'm going to list as I do them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, first I'm going to do cards, and then I'm going to do vision right away, okay? But I'm going to start with cards, and then I'm going to look at the situation right now. Okay, how is the person doing right now, and what is the outcome? Okay, and in cases where, for example, there are like the current situation is very different from the outcome, then obviously I'll get more cards to figure out what's going on. But I'm kind of leaning towards less rather than more. Okay, especially since this in many ways it's a yes or no situation. So that's that, guys. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna start with the one I had mentioned yesterday that I believe that I've seen that Marsha Blackburn would lose or could lose, but apparently there's all these shifting numbers related to Phil Bredesen and there's people in the group who are in Tennessee, and Deanna said that she does not want to vote for him because apparently he came out for Kavanaugh, and obviously we don't like Kavanaugh. However, we have to do everything we can to not have Republicans on the Senate, okay? Because the Senate is very consequential. So even if the person isn't perfect, you just have to vote for a Democrat, okay? Because it's 100 times better than a Republican. All right. So let's look into the situation, okay? So I'm going to stop now and look at this race, okay? All right. Okay, so let's get started. And by the way, what I'm probably going to do is, instead of doing several, like putting out 10 different videos, I'm going to try to do one of each. Because I think in this case, because these are the tight, important races, I think it's important. It's easier if I keep them in one video and then add timestamps so you can skip, okay? All right, I'm going to stop now. Okay, guys, so this is the first race I'm looking at. I've already done the reading yesterday on the issue with Taylor Swift and Marsha Blackburn, but I think it's helpful to use cards and to include it in the list as well, just in case. Doesn't hurt, okay? So I've already shuffled and cut the cards, okay? And so I'm going to do, like I said, a relatively short spread. So first we're going to look at the current situation for both candidates at once, okay? So let's look at, so on the left here we're going to have Marsha Blackburn first. Okay, so, and that's the current situation, okay? Let me take this out of the way. So right here. Okay. All right, so let's see here. Okay, so then we have here, we have news. So let me just get all the cards out, and this is going to be Phil Bredesen. Okay, so let's look at her first. Okay, so here we have, this is initial, this is energy, beginning of a sort of like a going forward with energy, the beginning of something. This is an obviously death, an ending of some sort. Okay, so it's interesting because we have both. This is like the very beginning and the end. Okay, so ideas, and then something could create an ending. This is news about this snake, guys, in this context, obviously, of knowing that she supports Trump and that she was, I think, the only woman in Trump's transition. Okay, this is news that are problematic news about some problem or something that we don't know about her or something shady. Okay, and then here, this is bad because this is theft, something dishonest, losses, okay? And this is also a bad card in this context. In combination, this is grief and adversity. So we have here the beginning, okay, the beginning. And I remember when I saw the vision of her yesterday, I had said that I had seen that she could have been subpoenaed. There is something where she knows there's stuff coming, bad stuff coming about her. Okay, so this could be it, because the beginning of news that suggests losses and something that could be her ending. This is obviously a card of spy, a person who's dishonest, and this could create grief and adversity. So this is right now, okay? And then him, we have worry, something about an alliance, okay? Alliances or an alliance, that could be a problem. Now, I believe, guys, this is interesting because Deanna had said something about him. So he apparently put out a statement that had said he would have voted for Kavanaugh because he's in a state that is very red. Okay, so this is interesting because then we have gentleman and a cut. So because the cut is to the right here, I would imagine that it could be that by supporting Kavanaugh, his numbers fell, because Deanna said that his numbers were high before, but then after he I haven't checked, I don't know the history of here, but that's what it looks like. Okay, so the man has to make a cut, okay, of something. Okay, and this is house. This would be I would think the White House, and a change. There's a change in the White House, okay? And here we have, oh, and also the house. I mean, this, I don't know that this could be, I would think this is the White House, not the Senate, because the Senate would be a different card. Okay, and so we have here worry about the man and the relationship to the White House. And this is alliances or supporting something needs to be cut in order to make a change, right? So he's realizing that supporting whatever an alliance that he may have had or this connection is not helping him, so he's going to have to make a cut in order to make a change. So this is right now current circumstances. Okay, now let's look at the outcome for each. So first, Blackburn. Okay. Oh, prison. Yeah, it's not good for you, but no, I don't think so. Okay, so let's, interesting. Okay, let's see. You know, the up to here look pretty good, but this is pretty bad. Okay, so, all right, so let's see him. Does not look, it's not, not good for him either. Wow, guys, this is interesting. Okay, now I have to remember that the tarot has less of an effect, but still these cards can't be ignored. But we have here, this is news or some invitation or news, and this is something financial, okay, or keeping at something that has been going on with some sort of frequency or steadily, okay, like, you know, the same, you know, like the horse, like you see here, okay. So this is finances, personal finances, also the boss, and this is election, guys. So what I have said before, that she worked in Trump's election, okay. She was part of the transition committee. Finances related to the election lead to prison. She has these pretty serious issues related to finances, okay. I think campaign finances, and this is an invitation to talk about personal finances. So I've been, you know, I've been doing readings for myself on something unrelated to this, and this card comes up a lot for me. And in my case, the question was about an email I sent to someone about some ideas I had, and so this card came up a lot. And I used to see this card very much as the card of thoughts or worries, but then I realized that seine Gedanken means thoughts. Thoughts means ideas. Okay, so whatever the person knows, it's in a way, in many ways, a conceptual card. So here, this is an invitation to talk about what she knows about personal finances. So, guys, again, this would confirm to me this idea that she is in trouble of some sort. Okay, now, again, because I have to pull more cards here, because this suggests that she has some trouble ahead. But here, it's interesting because we have he has some very bad tarot cards, though, which, like I said, this could be the emotional stuff, and this is isolation, and this is painful ending, okay, and this is news, something new for the older man here, a new opportunity for the older man, waiting for. This is usually the financier, okay, or sometimes I used to see this card as the Trump card, but I don't know if that's correct. I don't think this is true in this this particular type of what is it called? Kipper. Okay, so now what could be, if we look at this in conjunction, okay, it's possible this is waiting. Okay, this is also 90 days. So it could be that there's a painful ending of someone. This is also usually a lot of times related to Trump, right? So it could be that there's something serious related to Trump that creates an opportunity that's still kind of like in suspension here, and there's a painful ending that affects the older man. But the cards here, okay, don't necessarily mean, let's see more. Okay, obviously I think in this case I am obviously biased, but both of them, it's interesting because the cards here are a little bit better for her. The cards here are terrible for him, but she has the prison. Okay, so prison is pretty final, and it's related to campaign finances. Okay, so this is the problem. Okay, so let's find out more. So what is, you know, it could be that there is something that's going to be suspended in terms of the election. You know, she could lose because she has this criminal issue here. So let's see what ends up being the final outcome of the election. Okay, because I see that there's all these things happening, but who wins? Who gets the job? Okay, let's look into that then. Let's see on top. Interesting. So I think here, guys, in this context, he has better cards. Okay, even though she also has good cards, he has the ring and he has the big luck and he has the hope and the change. So she has the card of growth, or this is, guys, this is the family connected to the White House, okay? And this is behind the scenes connections to the White House, deals. And there's a problem here because this connection, it's like in a way it holds her down, okay? And this is like this is initially he had a difficulty asserting himself. He made mistakes, but ultimately it looks like he gets the ring and he gets the big luck, and there's hope in the change. So it looks like he could win, but I see that there may be some issues here, that it's like one of those things that's sort of unexpected. Okay, all right, so let me close this here. This was Marsha Blackburn and Bredesen. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to do the vision, okay? Now. Okay, guys, so I have just done the cards for Phil and Marsha. And it was interesting because it looks like there's something holding her back related to the White House. I think she has good chances, but it looks like ultimately he is likelier to win. But let's see. I had seen this before too, but let me close my eyes and ask. Okay, so what happens here? What is the situation? Interesting. Yeah, it's interesting because her, I see that there's, for example, on the street there's these construction holes on the ground. Okay, there's a rope. I feel like she's on the ground on the street, and there's a rope around her waist almost, and the rope fell to the hole, and it's slowly it's beginning to pull her down. Okay, slowly until she gets pulled down she goes into the hole. And for him, I see that he's kind of, it's almost like he's not assertive enough, or that he's relying too much on data, almost like, oh, this is what I should do, this is what I should say, on how to win. And I think towards the end, as I think I believe her troubles may be it may become public. Okay, then something about subpoena. There's, like I said, it looks very likely here, and then he gains a stronger footing here. Okay, because I think right now he's still a little bit kind of, I don't say cold, but not visceral. Okay, and this is the moment where we have to be visceral and more aggressive. So that's what it looks like. Okay, so what about the fact that she may have the lead? I think it's like he's looking, and he's being very analytical, and he shouldn't be analytical. He should kind of cut to the chase and go for it. Okay, but I think, like I said, it looks likelier that towards the end this will be resolved, also because she's compromised here, it looks like. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna stop. So guys, I just want to say something else also, so there are 10 races, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the races that have current Republicans, okay, that have that seat, or that are leaving that seat. So the one that I did just now about Martha Blackburn and Phil Bredesen, it has currently has a Republican. It's Bob Corker, okay? So that would be significant if we win it, right? Because that would mean one less for the Republicans. Now, the other one I'm going to skip to then is Kyrsten Sinema, okay, and Martha McSally. And looks like Kyrsten is doing really well. Okay, she's a Democrat, and this is for Flake. Oh, favorite, Jeff Flake. Yeah. Oh, Jeff Flake, great. So that's interesting. Okay, so let me look into this, and then I am going to look into Dean Heller's seat after this one. Okay. All right, so I'm going to stop here for a second, then go right to cards, okay? All right. Okay, guys, so now I have moved to Kyrsten Sinema and Martha McSally in Arizona. So this is another important race because the current seat is held by a Republican, okay? So first I'm going to do here Kyrsten, right? Kyrsten, and then Martha, the Republican, on the right. Okay, so and then right. Wow, this is not good. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now looking at the left, I should actually leave it like this, the left wing and the right wing. Okay, so this is a weird, this is card of madness. Okay, I mean, in a way we can think of actually our current moment is like a bit like this. And this is quid pro quo, donors. Okay, this is related to donors. And this is news. This is news of a deal or news of money, or I would think this is very positive. She gets the money she needs. And this is heightened by this card here, which is similar to this. Okay, this is receiving gifts. And this is kurze Krankheit, that means short illness. Okay, so I don't think if she had any issues, then it's remediated. Okay, this is like she may ultimately, I think there were gifts around her that may have helped some issues she may have had. Okay, all right, so then we have, now this is, like I said, currently it's not the final outcome. Then this is the person on the right. This is Martha. Okay, and well, here is the tower. Obviously things falling apart, chaos. Okay, and then we have the heart, and the tarot has a slightly lesser weight, but still is pretty bad. Okay, so the heart means values and some, okay, this is problems. Okay, so I would think that this could be related to, obviously they're both women, right? So the issue with Kavanaugh, it could be possible, it could be that the values are falling apart. There's a problem here with where the heart is, which is significant when it comes to voting. Okay, this is unexpected money. I'm sorry, this was like the order. This is work and unexpected money. So again, it could be, guys, again, this issue here that there's some problems, which I saw with the other one as well. There could be issues behind the scenes that are very problematic related to financial issues. Okay, this is here, the heart having lack of clarity about values. Okay, and this is work, unexpected money. So there's chaos related to hidden elements of money. Okay, and this unexpected money. And it's interesting because there's a falling apart, the values are changing, and it has to do with the values and the work, okay, that she's done, I guess. It could also mean that things are falling apart, but she's happy to work. It could also be, but again, there's an issue here where value is, things are really changing, and she may not be able to keep up with the current, but the zeitgeist in a way. And at the same time, there is some problems here with money. She has to work to get the money, but also what she had, the kind of work that was done to get money. There's something slightly shady here, okay? All right, so let's see now the outcome. And that's Kirsten Cinema and Martha Maxali. No, that's it on the left. Kirsten. Oh, look, she wins. This is very good. Judgment here, something. Election, money, or yeah, it would be positive. Interesting. Wow. This is bad, but this is like election theft. Okay, there's some issue here. She wins, but their financial, let's see how the other one does, okay? Yeah, no, she loses. Look. And okay, let's see the last ones here. So now this is really interesting, guys, because actually from time to time I study, go back to the books and review the meaning of the cards, just to make sure that I'm kind of like, sometimes you get used to the meaning and it's sometimes good to go back. So I remember just today I was looking at the mice again, and it's one thing it said, they work in groups. So it's, remember how I always connect this card to the Republicans. It makes perfect sense. So she's part of this group of people, and this is dishonesty, this is things, treachery, and those kinds of things. It's also the card of the job, but this is the manipulation, kind of like a misinformation, treachery. And now this is very significant too, guys, because this is a card of something private, and this is a card of to come into prominence. So something private becomes public. and something private that suggests the connection to this man here, and corruption, okay? And then this is like misinformation, treachery becomes public. So in this context, this is the right-wing person here, right? And this is the left. So in this context, it makes sense that she wins because some treachery, this is prison and this is theft and or dishonesty. This negative judgment related to, this is why I don't think it's her. Because if I look, in comparison, if I look at this person, if everything comes up and it looks really bad for her. So she has here the election and a lot of money, or election abundance. So that would be positive. But at the same time, there's this background, again, of looking into campaign finances. And it looks like this is the problem here. Okay, stuff becomes public for her, and it affects this woman in a positive way. So winning the election in spite of loss, that's illegal. Okay, so this is what I think, guys. Because if this one had the problem with this person is that, I mean, maybe this one recognition, but these cards are really, really bad. Okay, so in context, it looks like things look more positive for her. But let's get let's see here. Yeah, oh my God, he made things more confusing, because this is like some issue with guilty of the government and recognition of gifts. So let me just leave it like this, because then I'm like making things more confusing for myself. I'm like, see, it's like if you don't, you know what I mean? I have to kind of limit. But let's see. Let's just get 3. 1 for this one, okay? And then this one here. Wow, it's almost the same. It's so strange. Yeah, so guys, again, the news or invitation, foreign power and the group of people connected to foreign power. Here we have imbalance because the foreign power and connection to Trump. So I think that the woman on the left is going to win, but I think there's going to be issues here. It's one of those instances, guys, where I think it's gonna, they're gonna find out that there was like election tampering, those kinds of things. It looks like she will win anyway, but I think they will discover issues that are shady, okay? Something could be, like I said, related to campaign financing and those kinds of things, okay? So, let's just see, where does each one end up in, let's say, where will each one be in January 2019? Because that would tell us more. Okay. Yeah, I feel like it's interesting, guys, because I feel like, again, this is the card of blackmail, actually, which is interesting. Okay, and this is progress related to an older man here. And there's 2 men here. This is Mueller and someone else. Okay, oh, this is Turtle. Hi, Turtle. How are you doing, huh? How are you, good? So, and then we have here worry and an ending for this one, and we have something public hope. The white woman ends because the one's connected to the White House. So I feel like, guys, like I said, there is stuff coming up that we don't know about. It looks like things are much more likely for the Democrat. However, there's a lot of obviously dirty stuff going on behind the scenes. Okay, and that's what I think. Okay, now let's see. Let's see, 1 second, guys. 1 second. Let me close my eyes here. Okay, so So guys, let me find out. You know, it's like one of those, I think the Democrat is doing better, but I think there's a lot of stuff, like shady stuff going on. And guys, I have to look, to be honest, I don't know a lot about every candidate, but if I wanted to double check if this is the woman who worked for the CIA and she had her stuff hacked, because that would make sense, okay, that there would be all this activity related to her. I don't know, but let's see. I want to find out here. So what is going on with each one? Interesting, guys. So I see that she has, she has her hand raised as if she's somebody, when like the Olympics, someone lifts your hand when you're the first place. Or, right, she's the heavenly winner, okay? She's the one who's meant to win. And then I see that there's desperation here. And if I see, I guess I see Jeff Flake for whatever reason. That's right. It's him, right? I guess. I'm like, oh, what is he doing here? Jeff Flake? Why do I see his face? Huh? Because that's his seat. That's why. Okay, and then I see him kind of desperate, and it's interesting because I see, when I see the Democrat woman, she's doing it from the heart, and the guy, the Republicans are kind of like, it just seems empty. There's a soullessness to them. No, really? No, don't believe it. No. So there's a weird kind of emptiness about them, and they're doing dirty tricks. And I think they're trying the data stuff and all that. But this is the thing, guys. I feel like, I've said this before a long time ago, I kind of see like FBI agents. They are watching. They are, huh? So they see what you're doing, bitch. You can try all kinds of things. But I don't think it's going to work. Because they're watching your ass, your dirty ass. And so I feel like there's obviously a lot of money, and like, okay, what is illegal? Is there anything illegal about that money? What's the deal here? What is really the main illegal thing they may be doing? There's foreign money going. Oh, okay, so there's a big PAC that's going to Republican candidates that is doing illegal financing. Okay, and then I see Rick Gates, him telling something about this particular. There's something going on there. Okay. And it's like this, I don't know who it is. Maybe it's some Russian that has this particular PAC going to Republican candidates. So it could be one of them, okay? And also I do see the thing about some data. There's some dirty election stuff in terms of they try to like prevent people from voting. But there's just a lot of like, the law enforcement is very much looking into these elections, okay? So they're trying to keep it down low, but I think they catch it. Oh, and I see people being arrested kind of right after or while. I don't know when, but it was going to be after the election, okay, I think. So they're caught, guys, I think. Ultimately, I think like I said, she's meant to win anyway, but I think there's going to be a lot of arrests connected to this. Anyway, they're going to try to really lower. And it's interesting. I see the data, kind of like they go in the system as the election is happening, and the FBI catches them. They try to, like, I don't even know much about hacking, but I think they catch the invader and they try to go away. We see your face now. Go away, trash. You know what I mean? So they set up booby traps, kind of thing, for the invaders. So yeah. So does she win in the end? Yeah, she does. And it's interesting. I see her. I hope she doesn't get hurt, but wounded almost, as if I hope it's not real, like in terms of anything happened to her. But it's almost like they really attempted something, okay, to try to prevent her from winning. So like I said, there's something here that gets kind of dirty and really gross, but I think she wins ultimately. Okay, and there's a lot of shock, surprise at the news that comes out. Let's see, how was Jeff Flake? Is happy? He's like. He's kind of like weird. It's like he's kind of annoyed because he feels he still has hopes for his own political future. So he's like, oh, damn it, it's going to be harder for me because my district, you know what I mean? The influence of this woman. It's interesting because I see he knows what he did, right? In the sense that oh, interesting. It's showing that the stuff that he did trying to it's something that he thought that maybe things could change, that there is a woman, and maybe he should think about it. But I think it's gonna. He sees that once. I think obviously in the end he didn't help us very much. He helped at the beginning, you know, with the investigation, but the investigation was bullshit. Like, right? They didn't use the information. They knew. Okay, let's get real. That they knew that he had fucked up. Apparently, the report showed that there was all these weird, you know, these different things, but they didn't do. It didn't. They didn't want to stop it, so they didn't. But what I'm getting here is that he knows that this is a bad sign for him. That the times have changed. Yeah, times have changed. You're not popular. No, nobody likes your bullshit anymore. So you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's it, guys. Okay. All right. But it shows, like, you know, winning, but after a huge battle. Okay. And okay. All right. And like I said, you know, a huge apparatus trying to take her down. But I think ultimately she wins. I think she does. All right. Okay. Bye. Hi, guys. So next is a reading on Dean Heller versus Jackie Rosen. And Dean Heller is in Nevada. I was just reading, a state where Hillary won by 2 points. So it's and it looks like things look really good for the Democrats. So let's look into that. Okay. So I'm going to do cards first and then vision. All right. Okay. So let's start with Jackie Rosen on the left. This is currently, okay. And then Dean Heller. Who holds the seat currently. Okay, now what is interesting right away, this is plans. Okay. Plans may not, issues with plans, and this is dire circumstances. Okay, now I think this is a card that's a very, very good card, the key, meaning an answer. And the dog means loyalty, means good people. So I feel like she's seen as the answer to the good people who are facing some sort of economic hardship, okay? And this is the marriage and the loss, okay? So we'll see if this is the good person who could help with losses, or that if she's dealing with losses. I think it's a she. I don't know exactly, actually. I can tell. But again, these two cards are very positive, okay? But it looks like it's in flux. So this is Dean Heller. The White House deal. Now the Queen of Cups upside down here is significant because it's the women who are upset, okay? And then we have Court. That's right, the Court, meaning his support of Kavanaugh. So it's showing that the support of Kavanaugh really may have impacted him negatively, okay? Because this is worry. So this is secrets revealed and stuff about women. This is a deal with the White House. The White House is supporting him. We know that. So there's a lot of worry here because the deal that obviously he's connected to the White House, and he contributed to Kavanaugh's being in the thing, okay, in the Supreme Court. This is issues. We have revelations related to the White House and the court. So that's what's affecting him here. Okay. So let's see what the outcome is for each one of them. Okay, guys. So interesting because, like I said before, on another race, there's some issues, financial issues here, and I feel like this is aggression, and this is good. I mean, I think this is aggression. I don't know if it's like related to money, finances, the boss. Okay, and this is, the moon means there's something we don't know about it. Okay, and I feel like, again, it's because it's revealed here on this side. Okay, there are issues with the Republican money that we don't know about. Okay, but at the same time, it looks like this is receiving gifts and meetings. Okay, but here Dean Heller has this terrible card. It's the card of guilt. Something really negative happening. So the news are really negative about him. I think this is him here, right? He's a blonde guy, I think. And this is like offerings, okay, proposals related to women cause imbalance. So I think that, you know, a lot of times I see this as the Russia card, but I don't think I wanted to pull out another card. And this is money. So like I said, there's financial issues here. Obviously, I think we all know that this issue with the Republicans, the main reason other than them having nothing to stand for. Oh, you know what? I made a mistake. How interesting. I didn't pull out these cards. Let me do that. Pull the wrong cards. Yeah, wow, look, Mueller and the White House. Yeah, so essentially, guys, it looks like the women's stuff affects him negatively, okay? And there's Mueller invites him for guilty. Hello, this is Mueller. I'd like to say you're guilty. You have problemos. Yeah. So you see, at the same time that I think he was losing anyway, because he's connected to, like, the women's stuff was really bad for him, the fact that he supported Kavanaugh in this particular state, okay? At the same time, there's Mueller has invitation for party at courthouse, okay? So that's what I think, guys, okay? So now, I think it's pretty clear. I think it's much likelier that this is competition, okay? So let's see. Yeah, I don't know, guys. It looks like I think this person wins also. Receiving the gift, that would be something positive. But like I said, there is a financial stuff that we don't know about that could affect how the election plays out because the guilt of the Republicans. That's what I think here too. Okay. All right. So let me stop it and do the vision. Okay, guys. So I just did the reading for cards with Dean Heller and what's the name? Jackie Rose. And so it looks very likely that Jackie Rose would win also because it looks like there's stuff really. Dean Heller made a mistake. Yeah, he supported the governor. And in this particular state, I think this is going to turn out to be a problem for him because people will not forget. They don't forget. It showed prominently that the women are upset. But at the same time, Mueller appears and there's guilt with financial issues. So I think there's problemos here, so let's see what's going on. It's showing that the person the opponent has a genuinely popular, okay? People like this person, and there's crowds, and it looks like the person is winning. And it shows that Dean Heller is sinking because also, like, he's heavy with guilt also because I feel like he's kind of depressed because those Republicans, right? When they win, it's because somebody else bought them. So they don't have really the, it's not the impetus, is not the right word, but it's almost like it's not about them. It's like they're just pawns in the game kind of thing. Okay, so I feel like he's kind of depressed. There's a sense of that he compromised. He doesn't like the fact that he compromised in things he didn't want to compromise on. And if you guys remember this at the very beginning, if I recall correctly, right after Trump started, the government started, he was very anti-Trump, and then I never hear about him ever again. You know what I mean? He's very quiet. He's subdued. He's doing what as he is told. So I can only imagine that someone who once spoke up and now doesn't anymore. It's like he wants to survive, but what is the price of survival? It's like it's not worth it. And ultimately, I think things go badly for him. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna stop here. Okay. Bye.